This is our 2017 Fleetwood Discovery LXE. It's a 40-foot bunk model Class A diesel pusher. And we've made some amazing memories with our kids in this motorhome, had some really great adventures. But they're teenagers now, and anyone with teenagers knows there's a lot of things pulling on your time, a lot of commitments involved. So, although we still use it to travel occasionally, we're not doing it quite as much as we used to, and we're realizing that it's probably time to let another family take her over and make some memories of their own.
Hi, so we have arrived at our campsite. And the first thing that we need to do is level the coach. And in order to do that, we need to let the air out of the air system, out of the airbags. And on this particular model, there is a lever over here that you throw on lower. And maybe you can even hear it in the background. It lets the air out, and it essentially sinks the coach. All right, so the leveling system is right here. This is the controller for the awning. We're going to talk about that later. We'll turn it on. The coach levels itself, which is a very nice feature. It takes a few seconds normally. So then you can either manually level or auto level, which is, you know, what the coach does. So we typically do auto. It is now blinking green in the middle, and that means it's level.
This is the motorhome with the slides in, so how you would be driving down the road. And as you can see, there's lots of room to move around. You may also be able to hear a very low hum of the generator. I don't know if you can hear it because it's actually very quiet, which is nice. But you can run the generator as you drive down the road, which means you can use your refrigerator, your microwave, your TV, a DVD player or game system if you want it. You also have access to your bathroom.
Generator is always on our trips. So from the time we leave our storage facility, which is normally National Indoor RV in Lawrenceville in the Atlanta area, so this coach is always stored inside, except for situations where the time in between trips is, you know, 2-3 weeks, and it's quite a haul over there. So we have another outdoor storage space, which we will use then.
But the generator runs off of diesel, right?
Yes, okay. It does. Okay. And I will show you where the generator is, okay, and what specifications it has. So if you want to follow me.
Let's go.
So you have to go down right here. There's a little clamp. There's a button on the side, which you press and release. It's very easy. And then you pull this forward. And right there she is. So it's a Onan QD, quiet diesel generator. 8,000, it's 8,000 watts. So what can 8,000 watts power? We have not run into any limitations. Like I said earlier, we typically turn the generator on from the time we go to storage until we arrive at our destination. And that could be 20 miles, it could be 600 miles. It will run easily all appliances, the refrigerator, all the lights, TVs, PlayStation, 2 ACs whilst we're driving. This, as it turns out, on this particular model is quite an important bay because, and I've already removed the cover, the underdash fuses are located right here. We keep chemicals here, things for the bathroom, additional motor oil, transmission fluid, which is important for the leveling system, which I'll show you later on, and things like that. Okay? Off to the next one, the propane tank. Now, we only use propane to heat the furnace and to heat the Truma tankless continuous water heater. Then storage bays. The only one that I want to point out is easy. So this slides out to both sides, so depending on where you are. Also, here is the extension for the ladder that gets us to the roof. Those are 2-part ladders. All right. Very very convenient slide-out trays. Just regular storage here. It's an enormous storage space. We have yet to run out. And there was all kinds of crap in there.
Yeah,
if you're an organized person or family, you will be very happy. Water bay. So I want to essentially there's an outside shower here, or outside flexible faucet, as I would call it. You have your black tank flush here, so you can screw in a water hose to flush out the black tank. You have release valves when you want to dump the tank, the freshwater tank, and then you've got a main valve to dump the tank down there. You live in a neighborhood like we do, we cannot take this coach to our house, right? It's unwieldy, and I'm sure we would get some sort of HOA reprimand from somebody. So what we typically do before trips, we take 1, 2, or 3 of those, fill them up at home. We turn this valve to fill tank. Okay. For the moment, turn the water pump off. You can turn the water pump off here and inside as well. And then, if you want to come around here, we have installed a bypass valve so that you have this hose that you can insert into this canister, so it draws water from it. So I'm going to just demonstrate that. I set the bypass valve to bypass. Put that up here. Okay. Put this in, and then turn the pump on.
All right. And then you have fresh water for washing your hands,
Toilet.
flushing the toilet.
That's right. Okay, next one. So here's where you have your electrical hookup and your city water hookup. Both on electric reels, so you don't have to do the rolling up by yourself, which is especially useful for the 50 amp cable. Also, important, very important, transfer switch right there. Okay,
surge protector.
Comes standard. All right, next one. So, diesel exhaust fluid. Okay, is pumped back here.
Don't forget to refill that. Don't forget to refill that every once in a while.
Yeah, you'll be notified. These are the chassis batteries. These are 2 of the house batteries. Originally from the factory. Here are the remaining 4. So there's a total of 6 batteries for the house and 2 for the chassis. Now, they are well maintained, National Indoor RV. Every time we check out the coach, they have a checklist. Perhaps some of you who are watching this are familiar with that. They have a checklist of things to maintain before each trip, and batteries are part of that checklist. Here, just want to show you real quick where you can check engine fluid levels. This is where, first off, the reservoir for the leveling system, and this is where I said earlier, we typically maintain some extra transmission fluid because this is what it takes. Okay, and the leveling system will let you know when it needs fluid, so it will keep on beeping and it won't stop. Then you have a Magnum inverter here. So I believe it's a 2800 watt inverter, 2800 or 3000 watt inverter. Okay, and there's a main cutoff switch up here. So that's Truma water heater, tankless and instant, so you always have hot water. Very easy, you can take this off. You can change the filter and release the water. You pull this up, okay, essentially let air into the system, and then you pull this down, and there you have it. And you can also change the filter. We have an extra filter that's going to come with the motorhome. They're actually quite expensive, close to $100, so I'm glad that we have another one. Okay.
Yep.
Then here, another part of the electrical system. battery control center over there, and then over there the charge controller. So there's a 100 panel, 100 watt panel on the roof, which is enough to keep the batteries charged when it just sits there. Okay, it's not enough to go off grid on, you know, federal lands out west, but if that's what you're into. But you can easily obviously expand this and add additional roof panels to make this bus completely self-sustainable. Okay, here's just more storage. There's the vacuum cleaner. That's where the vacuum bags are installed and exchanged. So central vacuum system.
We'll show you later.
Yep. Pegboard.
And there is an outlet. There's a power outlet down here as well.
Two of the next bays, and then there's just more storage right here. One thing also I put in here, we have a natural propane outlet that comes from the propane tank over here. So you can take this off and plug this in, and then you can hook this up to your favorite propane appliance and cook outside. All right, so now we're inside in the air condition.
It's very nice right now.
Very nice, because it's really hot outside. So now we're ready to pull the slides out. So I'll turn the coach back on, because slides only go out when the coach is actually on. Generator is not enough. So some of you may notice that these slides on the inside, when they're retracted, they look a little bit unusual, maybe for some people's taste or perception. But what causes this is we use this, an old sock, okay, with baby powder. Put baby powder on the sides of your slides when you're sort of on the inside, because it essentially reduces friction between the slide body itself and the seal here, and it makes the seals last longer. The next control panel is essentially here. So we have the slide controller for this slide right here, the big full wall slide out. It's got a key on and off, and then the controller for this slide.
Two slides. Slides on both sides. Slides
on both sides. There's two slides on this. That's exactly right. The awning for the door. And then the control for the awning, for the Girard awning, which is the big one on top. Then here is where you can determine if you're going off of roof antenna or park cable. We typically never hook anything up here because there's another hookup outside. Okay. All right, so now we're going to just let the small slide out first. Go to this one. You see that right there. Normally I have my kids pull the slide out. I never told them there's a button for it.
Maybe we'll show that.
Oh. Also, you have to have a window open when you extend those slides. It is absolutely critical, because otherwise, essentially, what you're doing is you create a vacuum. So it's very critical to have a window open.
Oh wow! Okay. Never really thought about that, but I guess you're right.
Okay, so now we're gonna let out the awning. So first off, I'm gonna do the awning above the passenger door. So simply press this button here, and then the big one. So we just press out, and you can hear it. So this awning, the one above the slide that's coming out right now, also has a wind sensor on it. So if the wind gets to be too much, and that's adjustable by you at your depending on how much wind you are willing to tolerate, it will automatically retract. So that saved us quite a few times when we left out the awning, and it started to gust. Okay, so if you want to take a shot at the odometer reading here, we're at roughly 26,000 miles, and that's likely to increase slightly depending on whether or not there's interest from potential buyers in this coach. One thing that I do want to point out is this coach is not sitting in storage at this point in time. Well, what I mean by that is we're still using it. You will also see some of the cabinets we haven't completely emptied. We emptied everything in plain sight here so that you, who is presumably interested in knowing about this coach, can envision your own interior, okay? So we didn't want to leave it cluttered outside, of course, the captain's hat. And that captain's hat I might be coerced into throwing in with the coach, okay?
No, say it isn't so.
I don't know, but
okay, so once this thing is opened, there is a ton of space. And actually, the driver's seat and also the passenger seat swivel around so that you've got 2 extra seating spaces. And the passenger seat actually even reclines and has a little footrest that comes out. So it's really awesome. It's my husband's favorite place to sit when we're in this thing. Okay, so starting with the kitchen area, first thing we've got these awesome, and you can see we've still got spices in here, slide out trays that come out of the wall for pantry stuff, which is really super convenient. Moving on, full-size refrigerator here, which, I mean, you can keep a ton of stuff in here. Big giant freezer, lots of ice cream, lots of, popsicles and frozen foods and all of that stuff. Ice maker, which is also nice. And this will, actually, you can see it's made ice while we've been sitting here. So if you've got water in your tank and you've got your generator on, your refrigerator will run and you'll have ice when you get there, which is also very, very nice. Okay, moving on. We have microwave / convection oven, which is really nice, and there's different attachments and trays for here. So if you want to bake some cookies or something while you're here, you can do that. Induction cooktop, move your chair, your little hat out of the way there. Double induction cooktop. It's very safe. You don't have an open flame, which is nice, and it works off of electricity. So when you're on shore power, you can use that. We've got a dishwasher. Check this guy out. Oh, nice. So yeah, that's a nice little added bonus. Let's see, lots of cabinet space here. You can see, as we said, we're still in it. The sink is actually awesome because it's a double sink, which is really nice, and you have that, but then you have another one under here, and put it over, and then you've got all of this counter space, which is really, really nice.
Which, don't forget, this counter space right here.
Yes, exactly. That was going to be my next thing. This, now you've got double counters, which is really nice. You've got lots of extra space here for cooking. Right. Then, what's next here? We've got some more space down here for pots and pans. This goes way back to the back of the slide, so you have a lot of space there. All right. Up above the TV cabinet, this is where we stuck all our appliances, so it would be nice and clear for you guys to see. And the TV cabinet actually opens, and you can fit all your DVDs and games back here. And it also has DVD player. Does this run Blu-rays too?
Blu-ray, yeah.
It does. Oh yeah, Blu-ray.
And the sound bar.
Awesome. And you've got the Bose sound bar here, which is really quite nice. All right, now let's go to the other side. On this couch actually does full out into a queen-size bed, and it's an air mattress, which also has like a regular mattress around it, so it's very comfortable. It doesn't feel much like an air mattress, and you've got a lot of space in there. There's also seatbelts in this if you should want them or need them. Yeah, so that pulls out into a full-size bed or a queen-size bed, which gives you lots of extra sleeping space, which is really nice if you have a bigger family or if you have people staying over. The dinette here also turns into a bed if you want. This will actually lower, and we have a cushion that goes over it, so you can turn this into, a really pretty good sized bed, especially for a kid. And of course, you can get everybody around it and get at least, at least 4 people around it. And we have a little ottoman that we use over here that we get extra people, so you can get lots of space around this thing. And this will shift back and forth, which we'll show you in a little bit. There's underneath the seats here. There's drawers where we keep mostly games and art supplies and things like that in here. All right.
And that's on the other seat there as well.
And that is also on the other seat as well. And then of course you've got, you know, additional storage up here for, oh, probably keep this dog treats. Additional storage up here for other pantry items and such. One other thing I want to note also is that each of the windows in here has a slide, but then it also has a blind. And all of the windows are like this. So if you want to black out the whole place, especially, which is really great in the bedroom if you want to sleep late, you can actually do that, and they just go right up. All right, before we get into the bathroom, right here you've got a panel that controls basically everything in the coach, right? You've got, you know, home, which will tell you all of the different levels that you have in all your tanks. You can turn the water pump on from here. You can turn the water heater on or off from there, etc. And you've got a lot of other facts and details in here. Then there's AC, which is just sort of your power, you know, setting for anything you want to mess with power. Again, DC power. The climate, that's where you adjust your air conditioning or your heat. And then you've got lights. You can change all your lights here from, you know, you can turn them all off if you want. You can turn them all on if you want, etc. Then these are your vents for both your bathroom and your living room. So you have two vents to, you know, pull air out whenever you need. And then that's just another setting, you know, obviously time, temperature, etc. Love this bathroom. It's nice and big. You have a lot of space in here, and there's of course, you know, a lot of good cabinet space here, lots of places to put things, and you know, you actually have a pretty decent amount of counter space here for an RV. The toilet is just your standard RV toilet. It goes down into the black tank, and you just, you know, flush using a little flusher right here. And it also has an additional sprayer. Put that out of the way. It has an additional sprayer to kind of rinse out whenever you need. Then the shower. I love this shower. It is nice and big. I'm going to get in it just so you can see. I'm about 5'8", and I have a ton of space here. So my brother, who's 6'4", got in here, and he still had several inches at the top, so that's nice. And also there's a nice little bench here, should you need it. All right, so this is the bunk room, and right now I've got the camera in the master bedroom. You can close it off to the master bedroom, which is really nice. In fact, you can close this entire room off to the rest of the motor coach, which is really nice when you have little kids. There is a ladder here that comes down, and you just pop it on there like that. And one kid can climb up here, the other kid sleeps down here. There is a screen with a DVD player. It's not Blu-ray, but it is DVD, so that's really nice. And each kid will have also a light back here on both bunks, as well as a little cabinet where they can store their stuff. So they have their own little space in here. And there's also, you know, some power outlets down here if they have a lot of things they want to plug in and charge. So they can, oh, and there's also drawers down here, which you can't really see quite yet, but I'll show them to you. And those are also very nice as well. They can have their own little room, they have their own space, and they can keep all of their stuff in one space and not have it spread out over the whole coach. Now the mattresses that came with these bunks were these thin, hard, just really uncomfortable things. So we added some memory foam to this, which we will include with the camper. All right, so now we're in the master bedroom. This is a king size bed. And on either side, there is a nightstand with a power outlet. So you can put down a drink, you can charge your phone, whatever you like. There's also a very large closet back here that you can get, you know, all kinds of stuff in. And also, there's a washer and dryer. And on this side of the master bedroom, you've got lots of drawer space over here, plenty of it. I've never really run out. We've got your TV here, and you've also got a Blu-ray player in here, so you can, you know, watch anything you like. And additional storage. And then down here is the circuit breaker box for the interior portions of the camper and the electrical system of, you know, the camper itself. One other really great thing about this coach is that this whole bed lifts up. It holds itself up over there. And you have lots of space in here for storing all kinds of random larger objects that you need to store. And then to close it, you just kick it with your foot. It goes down like that. Now, a couple of other things you have back here. You've got your emergency exit through this window right here. And also, there is a button right down here on one side of the bed to turn the generator on if you ever need to while you're laying in bed. I've never had to do that, but hey, it's there.
I have these two filing boxes here, and all the manuals that came with the coach are filed and categorized here. So, and of course that's what we're gonna pass on as well.
We also mentioned earlier that there is an integrated vacuum system to this whole thing, and you just take this and you stick it in there, and you got your vacuum. Almost.
Unlevel or track jacks.
Will it even start or go into drive if you still have the jacks down?
Well, good question. Actually, if you forget to pull the jacks up and you put it into gear, the jacks come up automatically in sort of a high-speed fashion.
All right, so that's our motorhome. If you're seriously interested, we have a whole huge picture album with probably, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred pictures in there.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, so just contact us through RV Trader, or we'll put a link to that in the description below, just in case. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yep.